Hello everybody, EmyyWolf here, brand new video. Today is October 21 of the year 2024. It is a Monday and it's 7:04 p.m. So you'll get this video when you get it, and too bad. So anyway, I know I haven't really posted any other video anywhere else online, on my other websites or web pages or social media sites or whatever you want to consider it. I've been busy. I've just been down, and if I haven't been down, then I've been busy. But yeah, that's the deal. And really, I haven't really had anything to post anyway, so no ideas coming through for me to post or talk about. Most of the things that were my ideas or my opinions or not my opinions or anything else that there is to talk about has already been posted. So if you want to check out my past opinions or current opinions, excuse the background. Please excuse the background. If you hear anything, ignore it. I will try my best to minimize the background noise. So yeah. Sorry about that. Some people are a problem. They just are. But, yeah, I'm sorry if I haven't posted anything else anywhere else, okay? If you consumed anything from my channels, any of my channels, thank you for watching, and I appreciate your attention for however long it lasted. And I understand your frustration if I haven't translated anything for you, but the translations usually take a lot of work. A lot of time and work. When I was posting the translations, I was working overnight and I had a lot of time on my hands. A lot of time. So if you wish for me to translate anything for you, I will put up a CashApp account where you can pay me, and I'll be able to do that work for you. But until then, I can't do that anymore. It's out of my hands. Like, I enjoyed sharing those translations with you guys as well, but it's out of my hands. Right now, I'm too busy working on my career and jobs and school. I'm trying to get into school, as some of you know. I'm going to the gym. I'm just always on my feet. And I'm also half time babysitting my nephew. I have a baby at home, so I'm just constantly busy. So because I am constantly busy, that's also why you really haven't heard from me. Like I said, I will put up a Cash App account where you guys can pay me, and if you want a translation, I will need at least $50 from the community. Yeah, it's gonna be like around 50, and I will put up the translation for the next video as soon as I make 50. But until then, I'm not making anything. Zero money, okay? No money, okay? As soon as I earn 50 from the community, I will put up the next translation of that one story time or stories called Ice Wall. So for those of you who know what that is, then you do. If you don't, you don't. But that will be the next translation. You want that translation that I literally translate word for word? Yeah, it's gonna have to be 50 from the community. Anyway, let me get back to this video. So this is just a little update. Today's video is about how I lost weight, okay? My weight loss journey and how I lost about 90 pounds. Yep. So I've been obese or overweight my entire life. Let me start the story time with that. Story time, I've been obese or overweight my entire life. And I'm sorry if I'm slurring my words. I am so tired. Like I said, I've been busy. Today, I literally walked almost more than 10K steps in the sun. But that's besides the point. Let's go back to the freaking story time of how I lost all the weight, or about to lose all the weight. But let me start off with, I've been obese and overweight my entire freaking life. The reason I believe I was overweight or obese my entire freaking life is because my parents were overweight or obese my entire childhood. So because I saw that, I believe maybe that influenced my behavior as well as my obesity and me being overweight. It has to be. Like, that's a given. That's for a fact. And even though I don't really wish to point my finger at my parents or my family for my behavior, I know that this has a lot to do with my behavior or the reason for why I was obese or overweight my entire life. Anyway, moving forward. I'm 26 right now, but at the age of 22, I had lost all the weight, okay? So I went from being obese my entire life to losing all the weight at the age of 22. The reason I did that was to impress a guy I had a crush on at the age of 22. And that would be that one dude called RoboCop that I talk about in my story times. That one's called Fat Tinkerbell or something like that, because I'm Fat Tinkerbell, hello. So if you want to check those out, they're on my channel. Anyway, let's move on. So even though I did lose all the weight at the age of 22, I regained it after this RoboCop guy left my job, so there was no incentive for me to lose weight or any sort of reason for me to desire weight loss. So slowly I regained all the weight back, every ounce, every pound, every millimeter, okay? Just, it all came back. I was down, I was not inspired, zero inspiration. I just hadn't had a crush like him again. And fast forward, now we're in 2024. I've lost most of the weight again. And I'm reaching, as of this date, a normal BMI again. Slowly but surely. Like right now I'm on the overweight range. And I'm literally 15 to 10 pounds away from a normal BMI for me. So I'm a 5-foot female. 26 years old, 5-foot female. Caucasian, and I'm weighing around 143, 144 as of recent. Like that's the last time I checked my weight. I've been slowly losing weight, slowly but surely, so it's literally been 10 pounds a month. A 10-pound weight loss per month. Like at the end of the month, I've literally lost 10 pounds. So it's been 10 pounds on the dot without a fault. So that's basically how I've been losing weight in the last year, starting 2024 or the last days of 2023. So that's exactly how it's been, and I'm going to tell you guys how I've done it. So the first time I lost weight at the age of 22 in the year 2019. Again, it was because of this guy. I got a whole story time coming about him, for him, so all of you can know my story time, but that's besides the point. The first time I lost weight, I don't exactly remember how I've done it. It was, most of it started with fasting, so water fasting. So the first thing I did was a 3-day water fast, just as a test. That's the very, very first time I tried any sort of food restriction or calorie deficit. The very first time. After that, I continued with my bad behavior, obviously. And I believe it was a week or 2 weeks after that I tried a 15-day water fast again. 15 days no food. So that would be the second time ever at all in my life that I tried any sort of caloric deficit or caloric restriction. So after being basically obese my entire life, I tried water fasting. Like I said, at first it was 3 days, then it was 15 days. That was just a test for me at the age of 22. I remember clear as day. Afterwards, I tried, it was a challenge that I decided. A 30-day challenge, like there would be an end to it, but it was a challenge that I decided this would be. So basically the challenge was to eat McDonald's, right? But it would be a healthy sandwich from McDonald's, a healthy chicken sandwich from McDonald's. 30 days, just that chicken sandwich from McDonald's. Basically it was 1 meal a day, chicken sandwich from McDonald's for 30 days. No quitting, no outs, just the challenge was 30 days, 1 meal a day, and that 1 meal would be that one chicken sandwich from McDonald's. That was my third time trying any sort of caloric restriction in my life at all at the age of 22. So, and this basically helped me proceed with my constant weight loss at the age of 22. So I also had a job where I was doing foot patrol. I was doing a lot of walking. I'm going to post images up here of what helped me lose all the weight at the age of 22, because I don't exactly remember much anymore. Like I said, now I'm 26 years old. It's been a long time, And like I said, I regained all the weight after I lost my inspiration, after what helped me lose weight was gone. And what inspired me to lose weight was a guy, like it was a man, it was a crush, it was a romantic interest. Once that romantic interest was gone, there was nothing else. So yeah, I regained all the weight back. And in the year 2023, myself as a fat 5-foot female was weighing 222 pounds. I was very obese, okay? Obese with a big O, okay? So moving on, what inspired me to lose weight this time was just my health. Me looking forward to aiding my own health and seeking a career that requires of you to be fit. So those are the two main points. I guess looking for a romantic interest or seeking a romantic interest like the previous one is also part of it, but not as much, not anymore. Mostly it's just health benefits, and as well as career opportunities opening up to me. Anyway, I don't want to make this video, this story time, this weight loss journey video too long because I'm severely tired. Like I feel my eyes literally sticking together, closed. Like I'm very tired, you guys. I am so sorry. I hope you can understand. I'm gonna make this video very short. I don't have the energy right now. So I think I'm gonna go to bed soon, even though it's just 7 p.m. But I'm severely exhausted. So how did I lose weight in the year 2024? Basically, this entire year, how did I lose most of the weight? Because I haven't lost all the weight to get to the normal BMI, but I lost most of it. Okay, not all the weight, but I lost most of it. Like I said, I've been losing 10 pounds per month, literally, without a doubt. Okay, 10 pounds per month for a fact. So how have I done it? I started at 222 pounds with a food addiction because anyone who's obese has a food addiction. I never fed into that whole fat acceptance, body positivity beliefs ever throughout my entire obesity life. Never, ever, okay? Because I come from a very traditional conservative family where obesity was very looked down upon, even though my parents were both obese, but it was still looked down upon. You know, I was judged harshly, and even if I was judged harshly, I still didn't change my behaviors, obviously. But now in my 20s, I know in my heart and in my common sense that anyone obese, including myself, has a food addiction. I accepted this even at the age of 22 when I was looking to impress this one guy. I have a food addiction, have always had a food addiction. So the first step to lose any sort of weight in any sort of way, okay, for any sort of reason, is accepting that if you are overweight or obese, you for a fact have a food addiction. Binge eating disorder is something separate and a completely different mental health problem that not very many people have, but for the majority of the people on earth, or in the United States, or in the world in general, they have a food addiction if they are overweight or obese. Just flat out a food addiction. Now, I hope you all know and understand that food in any advanced nation is very processed, okay? It's fake food. It's not real food. It's ultra processed. It's fake, okay? It's so processed that you don't understand how processed it really is. The sugar in most things that taste sweet is not even sugar. It's a sweetener called syrup. Like, I forgot the name. I'm going to put it up here. I'm sorry. I'm so tired. I'm slurring my words. I know. I get it. But let me move on. Yeah, most food in most advanced countries is fake food-like products. It's not even actual food, okay? So that would be like the first step at all to understand if you're gonna start any sort of weight loss journey Okay, so for anyone watching, if you are obese or overweight, understand that most food in any advanced nation is processed. Very, 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 very processed. Okay, that means it's fake. Okay, that means it's invented. Okay, designed. Okay, like I don't know what other word to help you understand what processed means. Fake. Okay, not actual food. Fake food. That would be the best word to use if you don't understand. It's just fake food. Food like products, but not actual food. It's just fake. Okay. So, if you want to start any sort of weight loss journey, that would be the first step into any of this, because you have a food addiction if you are overweight or obese. Understand that most foods are fake, okay? That would be the first step at all ever. Now, most foods that are in packages, anything packaged with several ingredients, fall into the category of fake processed foods that aren't even food. So anything that says ingredients, blah, 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 has like a million ingredients. So that would be most foods that are inside of packages. So anything inside of packages, you really need to be careful. And go to any supermarket and understand what packaged foods are. Anything inside packages that has several ingredients. Yeah, that's what you need to be careful with, because that's considered fake food. The sugars, most food has added sugars that doesn't actually need added sugars, but they have added sugars anyway. So yeah, and a lot of those sugars aren't even sugar. They're called corn syrup, which doesn't come out of your body. It stays in your system for over, 30 days, like a month, I believe, right? Not for a fact, but I believe it's 30 days to a month that this corn syrup stays inside your body. So then we have seed oils that are added into all these fake foods. They're not normal oil, like oil from olives, like olive oil or coconut oil, which are healthy oils. No, they're seed oils, and seed oils are severely, severely unhealthy. These seed oils stay inside your body for about 600 days, 600 days. So there you go. Most of these fake packaged foods that are in most grocery stores are not only fake foods, designed, invented foods, but they have fake sugar and fake oils, like bad oils, bad cheap oils, and bad cheap sugar called corn syrup. So there you go. That's the first step that you need to learn. Second step. The second step is quitting all sorts of sugar and all sorts of carbs, because these carbs, these wheat, and these flour that we have here in these advanced nations aren't whole wheat. Like, they're not real wheat. They're something else. So anything considered bread, anything considered pasta, anything considered spaghetti, it has to be eliminated from your food options, from your menu, okay? It has to be canceled from your food options, from your menu, from your diet. Because that's what diet actually means. Your diet is anything that you're shoving into your mouth, that you're shoving into your pie hole. So that's what diet really means. For example, I can say my diet consists of me only eating grapes, okay? That's my diet. Anything that I'm consuming would be considered your diet. So in your menu, in your food options, all sugar and all carbs need to be completely removed. And that's the second step I took. So yeah, that's very hard if you have a food addiction, but understand that what's feeding your food addiction, what's inspiring your food addiction, is your consumption of all these sugars and all these carbs. All these sugars and all these carbs are influencing you and brainwashing you to consume even more sugar and even more carbs. So it's not only your fault, but it's the fault of the food you're eating as well. Like, you are biased by the food you are eating as well. So there you go. First step, understanding that most foods are fake, especially if they're in packages with several ingredients. Step number 1. Step number 2, you have to cancel any carbs and you have to cancel any sugar. Okay? So yeah, that would be the first 2 steps. Third step, okay? Sugars in fruits. These are healthy sugars because not only do they come from nature, but the fiber in most fruits cancel out the sugar from these fruits. Let's say a tangerine, which I consume a lot even today. these tangerines, you eat the natural fruit with its natural sugars, okay? Natural fruit with their own sugars that come inside of them, okay? A banana is one of these as well. They have fiber, okay? And as long as you don't liquefy them or shove them into a liquefier, they won't have the fiber stripped out of them. So if you just eat a tangerine or an apple, the fiber in the fruit itself will cancel out the bad sugar in it, all right? So any fruit that you eat isn't harming you. They're aiding you, okay? So it's fine to eat fruit, understand? So those are the first 3 steps, just educating yourself with nutrition and diet and calorie. That would be the first step. Moving forward, understanding that you have a food addiction would be to just start with eating whole foods. Don't start with caloric restriction at first, because understand right now you have an eating addiction and a food addiction, okay? So you will start with canceling anything with sugar, anything sweet, anything with carbs. That would be the first step. But don't calorie restrict yet. Just start with canceling these things I told you and staying away from packaged foods mainly, and start eating whole foods, clean eating. And that's exactly what I did. Learning all these steps that I told you, these 3 steps at first, not calorie restriction yet, because understand you have a food addiction that you have to unlearn, but all by yourself. So these 3 steps and eating clean eating. So that would be the 4th step that you have to start. You don't have to reduce the food amounts. You don't have to calorie restrict yet. But first we're gonna start eating clean and whole foods. This means any fruits, because fruits come from nature and from actual earth. Okay. Meats come from actual animals, which come from actual nature. Eggs that come from actual animals and actual nature. Okay, nothing packaged. Alright. Cheese is fine, even though cheese is pretty processed, but it's fine because it still comes from an animal. So basically, yeah, that's clean eating. There's another name for it, which I can't remember right now. Eating clean, eating whole foods only, all vegetables, all salads, any sort of nuts, raisins, meats, eggs. And yeah, that's pretty much where you start. You can overeat these things. You can overeat grapes. You can overeat meats. You can overeat nuts. You can overeat raisins. You can overeat lettuce. And that's basically where I started. So yeah, start eating clean, start eating whole foods. Stay away, cut out all sugars, cancel all carbs, all breads. So yeah, this includes pizza, obviously, because pizza has bread in it. So sodas. I quit sodas back in 2019 at the age of 22 when I first lost weight the first time, when I failed. But I stopped drinking sodas because I realized that the true taste of Coca-Cola was that of pennies and nickels. So if you remove any of the bubbles in Coca-Cola, it's gonna taste like pure pennies and pure nickels. Understand that the real taste of these sodas is horrendous, and your mind is being tricked with the bubbles, with the fizz. So it was easy for me to quit sodas. I haven't had a soda in almost 4 years. So if you probably have a soda addiction because of all the sugar in it, but I recommend that you turn to bubble water with 0 calories and 0 sugar. Bubble fizz water, okay? Turn to that at first. It's what you're gonna have to do, okay? I never really had a soda or Coca-Cola addiction. Not really. It tastes horrendous to me, but for some people, it's the best tasting thing on earth. So be careful with Coca-Cola or any sort of soda, because the sugar amount on any of the sodas available on earth is terrible. And a lot of them have that fake sugar called corn syrup, okay, that stays in your body for a year or however many months it was. It doesn't get out of your body. So yeah, that would be the first steps I recommend for you. And eating clean. for the first steps at all, ever. Don't even get on a scale if you're obese or overweight, because that's going to make you feel bad. You're going to feel a certain way about it. So yeah, that would be the first steps to take. Pretty much just a constant training of your brain and battling the addiction that you have, okay? So that would be the nutrition and eating part of it. You can start with the app MyFitnessPal so you can stay under certain calories afterwards. So I would recommend you do at least a 30-day of this clean eating. 30 days clean eating, right? The next month, you would get the app MyFitnessPal so you could stay at a caloric area that is good for you, for your height, okay? So get MyFitnessPal, and then you can write down all the fizz waters that you drink. You can write down if you ate an apple. You can write down if you ate any meats, anything considered clean food, like I said. So that would be the following month. And that's exactly what I did, okay? Final step, and this is where I'm gonna basically end the video. So final step is getting a job or career, if you can, that'll have you on your feet, okay? That requires you to walk or foot patrol, because that's what my career required of me. So anything that requires you to move your feet and walk, not somewhere that you're gonna stand like a statue, because that's not gonna do anything for you. If you can, of course. If you can't, then you can't. You simply can't. But I recommend and greatly advise you that you seek something where you are on your feet, walking and moving for most of your shift or your work. So that's what helped me. If you have a job that you work only, 3 to 4 days out of the week, like if you work part-time, then seek a gym or a neighborhood where you can track your walking and where you can, on your days off, you can walk 10K steps and over. Okay. So, what I did was, I didn't start at 10K steps. I was already walking at work. So here I'm going to post how much I was walking daily. So for me, most of the time I would walk 5 miles daily or more. So yeah, that would be the final step for this video. I might make a part 2 because it's a whole journey with many rules to it. But this would be the first steps that brought me to lose all the weight. Learning your nutrition, understanding that you have a food addiction. If you don't have a food addiction, then you have binge eating disorder, and you're going to have to tackle that a separate way. But for most people, we have food addictions and sugar addictions. That would be the first step at all. And of course, the final step is getting your activity levels up. So this would be walking 10K steps and over. For me, I walk definitely 10K steps and over, okay? 10K steps would be the minimum for me because I've done a lot of walking for my career. So if you have a sedentary job that requires you to sit somewhere, desk job or any of that, that's going to be a detriment for you and your health, especially if you're overweight or obese. So someone that is not having that much activity, you're going to have to restrict food consumption severely because, again, you are not having activity where the food consumption should be much. So that's basically where you start off. So for me, walking is where I started off. Like I said, if you only work part-time, then seek a gym where you can get your steps in. And after you have done, 5 miles plus daily, you can start weightlifting. And weightlifting is severely important. So of course you would get your daily steps in, which is going to be more than 10K steps, okay? I recommend more than 10K steps, okay? Just to keep, that activity level up. And after, I would say 6 months, right? 6 months of walking and nutrition and reducing the food amounts and eating clean, then you can start your weightlifting. Male or female, whatever you are. Weightlifting is severely, severely important. And of course, this is what I did as my final step, or one of my final steps. So weightlifting, the reason for this is because if you make muscle mass, if you make any sort of muscle, the muscle eats the calories. The muscle consumes the food. The muscle consumes the fat. the obesity fat that is making you overweight, that is making you look puffy, that is making you unhealthy. The muscle is the source of all your metabolism. The muscle is the source of all your weight loss. And the more muscle you make, the more you are safe to be days and weeks without any sort of activity. The more muscle you have on you. So the muscle will be the source of all your health. The muscle will be the one that helps you not break bones when you're old. The muscle is the one that makes you live long. So it all falls on the muscle. So if you're one of these people that is going to have a very sedentary job, you are going to have to find one way or another way to get those steps in and that muscle in. So yeah, that would be all the steps. And of course, this takes time, it takes effort, you will suffer. And that's one of the first steps you need to understand, that you will suffer. If you are addicted to all these fake packaged foods, you will suffer because these foods soothe you. They soothed me in my times of loneliness or need or desperation or bad times. Food soothed me. It calmed me down. It was like a baby bottle. Like how a baby has a baby bottle that calms him down or helps him fall asleep. Yes, I was food addicted, and food was like a self-medicating substance. Just any food of any kind was soothing for me, for a fact. Okay, so if you are planning to enter a fitness journey or any sort of weight loss journey, understand that you will suffer and you have to be willing to suffer. You have to be willing to put up with moments where you really want to eat that cheesecake, you really want to eat that spaghetti, you really want to go for a pizza that day. Understand that there's going to be days that you really want that and you are willing to not have it, okay? And you're going to have to replace a lot. So since this food took a lot of your stress away, basically, you're going to have to replace that substance with a different substance. And what I did was gaming, so video gaming a lot. And I also did a lot of swimming, so swimming would take up time a lot. And for me, it was also, corn, basically. So, adult content for me, consuming it and being intimate with someone. For me, right? That was what I started replacing with. So you're going to have to replace a lot. Find activities, hobbies, and time-consuming things that are healthy or distracting, that isn't food consumption. You're gonna have to replace a lot, okay? So seek games, seek a club, you can even watch movies, okay? Just watch movies but have no food around. Just anything that includes your hands, okay? So it could be knitting, it could be gaming like it was for me, it could be babysitting or, because I'm babysitting a lot. Cleaning animals, okay, cleaning like pets if you care for pets, anything. You're gonna have to figure this out, okay? There's gonna be days that you're gonna have to replace. You're gonna have to replace the food with many other activities of any other kinds, okay? And it's just what you're gonna have to do if you plan on entering any sort of weight loss journey or any sort of health journey at all. You're gonna have to start replacing. I also started tanning. A little bit, not too much, but definitely it was one of the activities that took my time and kept me distracted. So a lot of distraction, a lot of replacing is what you're going to have to do by default, for a fact, without a doubt, okay? You have to. Another thing you're going to have to do is cutting some people out, people that eat these packaged foods, people that are into all these fake sugars, into all these fake ingredients. You're going to have to separate yourself from them or keep your distance from them or not engage with them too much, okay? You're going to have to, unfortunately. And if you're close friends with these people or best friends with any of these people, that's too bad because these people are hindering you. Even if you don't consider it, subconsciously, in the background, low-key, they are hindering you for a fact. Like, trust me and believe me, they are. They just are. By default and for a fact, they are. Even if you want to not accept it and not believe it, they are. Subconsciously. You understand what subconscious is? Subconscious is your your behind mind, like the mind that is yours, that you don't really witness it, but deep down it's there. Okay, it's there and it's consuming as well. So in your subconscious, these people are eating unhealthy, and you're gonna eat unhealthy as well, because they're inspiring it. They're subconsciously inspiring it. So you're gonna have to start separating yourself from them, cutting yourself from them, cutting these people off, removing your friendships with these people. And as unfortunate as it is, you might have to unfriend them completely, like completely not be their friend anymore, as unfortunate as that sounds. Okay, so it's what has to be done. If you don't want to do that, like I said, it's going to hinder you. These people are going to become a detriment to you, whether you want to accept that or not, believe that or not. And yeah, a lot of the time you're going to have to start treating your new behavior with some discipline. Understand the definition of discipline. You're going to have to kind of be your own boss. So you have to adopt a boss-like mentality, or a manager-like mentality, where you're going to boss your own self around. Okay? So I forgot the name for this type of mentality, right? Like I said, I'm tired. But you really are going to have to, at least for yourself and for your own good, act like your own manager. At least act it out. In your own mind, of course. Like, boss yourself around in your own mind. So yes, really adopt a boss mentality or manager mentality, where you can implement self-discipline, okay? So yeah, like I said, a lot of this stuff, you need to really have the mind for it. You really need to have the IQ for it. And you really have to have the self-respect and discipline for it. And dignity for it. And really learn and understand that you have some sort of food addiction, okay? It has to be done. Otherwise, you will never ever enter any sort of weight loss journey or weight loss era. Okay? Any sort of health journey, you're not going to be able to enter it. So those would be my best advice, okay? And all the steps that I personally took at first. In the next weight loss journey video that I make, so basically part 2, hopefully I'll come up with more steps and more recommendations, more advice. Because today, like I said, I'm very tired. I did a lot of work, a lot of working out as well, and had a lot of steps, and I did a lot of babysitting and etc. You know what has to be done. Guys, by the way, I wanted to add that I suffer with PCOS. As many overweight or obese women claim that PCOS is a factor that doesn't allow them to lose weight, and it's the PCOS that doesn't allow them to lose any weight whatsoever at all. And that's a lie, because Michelle McDaniel, the YouTuber, and I both have PCOS. I have PCOS, I have a right complex cyst PCOS, and I was still able to lose all the weight and keep it off. Both times, both in 2019 and now in 2024. I have PCOS and I was able to lose weight. So it's not the PCOS at all. It's your behavior. Another thing I wanted to add is one of the recommendations, my advice that I wanted to add is that when you start this process, because it's an entire process, it's a training, it's a constant battle, basically. So one of my tips is music. You're going to have to download a lot of music that is to your taste, that is lit music. So music that is hype, that is lit, that moves you for when you will exercise or walk or run or do any sort of activity at all. So music is going to be a big one, and I recommend downloading many songs that are of that type to your taste, whether it be rock, whether it be, I don't know, Zumba, whatever, you know, cumbia, whatever, you know, it is that you prefer. Next, I wanted to add that you have to treat what you do, your behavior, like it's an addiction, because that's usually what it is. So like an alcoholic would have to treat alcoholism or his addiction to alcohol. That's what you're going to have to do. So you're going to have to treat it like an addiction, basically. So, you know, basically I'm almost 90 to 100 days of me beating my addiction. Not only that, but it's also an addiction to eating, to the act of eating. So it's not only addiction to food and the taste of food, but it's also an addiction to eating. This is also why you will notice that a lot of overweight people, more specifically Foodie Beauty and Amberlyn Reed, when you see them, they will typically go for fried foods because of the texture of fried foods. When you look at Foodie Beauty, for example, or you will see noodles, and this was a big one for me as well. So usually you will notice that obese or overweight people, they will go for noodles for the most part, anything with the texture of noodles. So this was also me. I would generally go for noodles or spaghetti. So that's another thing that you really need to pay attention to if this is you, and this was me. So it's not only a food addiction, but also an addiction to the act of eating. So it's a double addiction that you have, and you have to understand it and accept it so you can move forward. I think that's basically it. Not everyone can do it. Not everyone can go almost 300 days training your brain and with high activity levels and exercising and counting your steps and counting your food. Not everyone can do it. So you really, if you are willing to, you have to have a planner or a calendar that's going to keep you accountable. I definitely used a paper planner, like one of those big, not planner, a calendar. I used a big calendar. I would also take screenshots of my weight. I would take screenshots of my Apple Watch activity, or there's also this app called Pacer. This app called Pacer will count your steps, and I will show you here. If you go to the GPS, it can track your walk. If you're going to walk for 1 mile, when you go to the app Pacer and you click where it says GPS, it can count your steps or your 1 mile walk if you forget to use your Apple Watch, for example. So keeping track and writing all of this down will also help you a lot. Now, yeah, that's basically all I wanted to add. Hopefully in my part 2 I can help you more, but this video today is to even start. Okay, and what helped me in specific. Okay, this might not be for everyone or help everyone, because everyone is different. Everyone has different mental health issues and problems. Okay, everyone has a completely different upbringing, and everyone has completely different traumas to one another. So everything I listed in this video is what aided me in specific. Okay, so yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. Like I said, I'm sorry I'm not posting that much content, etc., etc. Please find me at EmyyWolf_304. That's my new handle. It's not EmyyWolf, Emmy_Wolf anymore, or whatever I was before. Now it's at EmyyWolf_304 for any other social media, whether it be Twitter, Facebook, or Instagram. It's gonna be EmyyWolf_304. I have 2 TikToks, so if you want to find those if you want to. Do whatever the F you want to do. I hope you enjoyed this video. I will make a part 2. It's a promise. And have a wonderful October. So, bye.